Let's talk about NoFap and no PMO. Because like I said, when I did it on your brain on porn, it wasn't called that yet, but it was basically the same idea. It was what's a 90-day reboot, right? It's so that you stop all porn and masturbation for 90 days and let your dopamine system reset. I'm going to get more into dopamine here in a second, but that's the main problem there. Well, it's one of the main problems with porn. I'll get into other stuff that guys don't think about that are sometimes even worse than that, but that's the whole thing. So here's the deal. When I did that, I initially flatlined, which is very normal, right? All morning wood stopped, wasn't getting any erections, no sex drive, completely lost interest in sex for at least the first couple of months. Okay, it was a little rough. It might have been all the way up to 30 days. But when we got closer to 30 days, it started to get better. Morning wood started to come on somewhat, but I still wasn't engaged in sex. Sex drive wasn't too high, but then it started to tank again. Then my morning wood went away again. And that I couldn't understand at the time. I understand it now. And that's what I want to talk about with NoFap and no PMO. Is because I get guys, same thing. They contact me. I don't understand it. He said, I'm 120 days into NoFap and I'm worse than I was when I started. And that can be extremely frustrating. But what I want you to keep in mind with that, first of all, is it's that, oh, I'm not on my chart over here. It's focusing on one thing. When like I said, it's rarely ever one thing. So just cutting the porn out, while that does help a lot of guys, just that alone. And that's a necessary step, okay? If you're addicted to porn, not just porn in general. If you're just watching occasionally, that's a different story. We'll talk about in a minute. But if you're addicted to porn, it's going to affect your erections. It's going to affect your sex life, particularly in the bedroom. It's going to affect you. So it's a necessary thing, but it's just one aspect of the ecosystem. And that's what I tell these guys, and that's how I help them get back on track, is that there's other stuff going in this ecosystem for you that's not working good enough, and that's why the erections aren't coming back on. Okay? It's not just that one thing. But like I said, it's very important that we take care of the porn addiction. So that's another thing that I found that I wanted to bring up, is that the reason it got worse is because of the use it or lose principle. You know, when you're not getting any erections, you're not masturbating anymore, so you're not giving yourself erections, you're not engaging in the sex life, you're not getting erections daily. So you're not using it. You start to lose it. Your body actually starts to lose. You can actually develop penile atrophy. Your penis can actually start to shrink because you're never getting an erection, right? That's where it starts to become a problem. Particularly with extended NoFap. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's why, particularly if you're doing something like NoFap, and for those who don't know what NoFap is, it means a variety of things. Technically, what it means is no masturbation, but typically what guys are talking about is getting rid of porn, taking away porn, and usually taking away porn with no masturbation, right? Those two things together. And then there's no PMO, which is a more specific. It's no porn, no masturbation, no orgasm. Okay, so you're not even engaging in any sexual activity during that time, during that reset, right? But that's the thing to keep in mind with that. As you're doing this, is make sure you're addressing other aspects of your ecosystem. You know, make sure you watch that IPM training, understand what goes into your erections on a holistic level, so you can look and see what might be other things that might be affecting you, that you might be weak in. And then you can start working on those too, because you can definitely, when you extend NoFap and you're not getting any erections, you can definitely go into this use it or lose it cascade where you got to turn that around. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's not as simple as just cutting out porn. Let me put it that. I hope that makes sense. It's a whole ecosystem. Okay. All right. So that's my point on NoFap. Now, quickly, what I want to say here too is go back into the modern day alpha inhibitors I'm talking about. when it comes to getting throbbing, stage 4, rock hard on command, and lasting as long as you want in the bedroom, both permanently and naturally at any age, the first step is understanding exactly what is going on under the hood of your manhood. Because if a man doesn't understand the basic mechanics of how his manhood works, how can he expect anything he tries to work? He just ends up throwing punches in the dark and then is frustrated when everything he tries stops working and makes his hardness and lasting power worse over time, conveniently leading him to more and more extreme treatments that further destroy his manhood and his ability to perform in the bedroom. So if this is a priority for you and you would like to finally get off of Big Pharma's hamster wheel, keeping you trapped, broken, and desperate, then you're going to want to set aside about 75 minutes to watch this free training I made just for you that's going to allow you to finally understand the ecosystem behind your manhood and bedroom performance. Like fixing a leaky pipe, you can't just drywall over it or you'll end up with a house full of black mold. You have to fix the source of the leaky pipe if you want permanent results that will last a lifetime. So I put a link in the description to claim a 24-hour access pass to my new masterclass that will take you by the hand and show you exactly what's going on under the hood. So you can finally understand exactly what methodologies, frameworks, and systems that our guys are using right now to conquer their bedroom performance permanently and naturally at any age. So go ahead and click the link in the description and I'll see you inside the masterclass. Xander Holt, signing off.